Good morning, guys, and welcome back. Okay. Miss Gingy is back in full... What? She's back in the full face-to-face staring into my soul mode, as you can tell. And I figured if I didn't give you guys an update on this little tater tot, that you'd be getting out the torches and pitchforks. Good morning, Chuck. What's up, buddy? He's just been just hanging out, getting his legs under him. Being a little bouncing baby boy. I wanted to bring you guys questions and answers. So many questions yesterday. Probably the number one question is, are we going to keep him? Mr. Chuck. Oh, well, hi. I know. I'll give you a lot of attention so then I can pay attention to little bubblehead over there. As they do. The babes like to taste everything, try everything. What's this piece of wood taste like? What's this hay taste like? Hi. What's this finger taste like? You are ridiculous. Oh, guys, all I can do is just sit here and chuckle. He's so stinking cute. Hi, Mom. But the answer to are we going to keep him is no, we are not. He does not fit into our breeding plan. He is pretty much the exact opposite of... Goodness. Of everything that we're breeding for. If you guys don't know, blue eyes in goats is actually dominant. And I don't want to say we're trying to bring that back to the goat world, but that's what we breed for, blue eyes. And polled. Polled is, I don't think polled is a dominant trait, definitely not a dominant trait, but we breed for polled so we don't have to disbud. Because I'm going to have to take a hot iron to little Chucky's head there. Probably within a week because of his size. And it'll put it around the horn tissue and it will kill the horn tissue so he doesn't grow horns. A lot of controversy, a lot of debate about that. For us, I've said it before, I'll say it again. It's a safety issue. Goats like to hook that horn up into the gut of another goat and flip that goat up into the air, throw them around. Like to ram each other in the face. They like to get their head through the fence, but then they can't get their head back out of the fence. And on a day like today when it's going to be below freezing. Well, it's going to be above freezing today. Actually, today is going to be almost 50 degrees. So we might kick all the... Hi. I have a runny nose. I don't want to put my face on camera. It's a little bit chilly. It's about 32 right now, guys. And she's just back to being Gingy. Just need you to pet me and love me. You did an awesome job, Mama. He is very much like her. He's just super chill for a baby. He's also a single, so he doesn't have brother and sister to run around and be silly with. But no, guys, he's pretty much the exact opposite of what we're breeding for, other than beautiful. Because he is brown-eyed, he is horned. We're looking for blue-eyed and not horned. And we were hoping to get a blue-eyed polled buck from Gingy because we would have probably kept him and sold Mr. Snickers, who is our blue-eyed polled boy, and Mr. Latte, who is also blue-eyed and polled. So we have the two blue-eyed polled boys for diversity, and then we have Jack, who's blue-eyed. Jack is horned, but he is gorgeous. Yeah, okay. it's hard for my little squirrel brain to talk and watch this. But he's done very well, guys. He has done very well. Of course, Mom is taking excellent care of him. As you could tell from yesterday's video, we knew she was going to. Look at that. Just checking on him. Huh. All right, give me 1 second, guys. All right, guys, so next question. How big a boy are you? How big a boy are you? So, standard size, I would say a normal Nigerian dwarf is going to be somewhere between 3 to 3.5 pounds. This little fella came in at a whopping 6 pounds. 6 pounds, man, you're huge. God, you're so freaking cute. So yeah, he weighed in at 6 pounds, which is massive. That orange scale hanging over there is a super accurate scale, and we put him in. Basically, we put the babies in a pillowcase, hang them on the hook, take them back out. 6 pounder. He's about to take a nap. You guys will hear me. I'll show you. You talk about death naps. The babies will get so tired they'll just lay down. Their head will fall to the ground. They'll just look like they're dead. It's terrifying. You walk in the barn and they're just so unconscious that it's like, you know, you kind of freak out a little bit. Mom has actually been, and I've never seen, it doesn't mean it doesn't happen. I've just never seen another goat. Every now and then she'll walk over and she'll poke him. Poke him in the side, poke him in the head. It's kind of funny. First time I saw it was last night. And I was just watching her, and he was like laying there sleeping like that. And she just walked up and poked him in the side, and he looked up at her, and then she walked off. So just checking that he's good, I guess. Why don't you take a nap, Mama? You look like you need a nap, baby. Next question. So, why don't we shave udders, teats, backsides? For the very reason I've been telling you guys from the get-go, Ohio winters are extremely unpredictable. We're cruising along at 50 degrees for probably a good 2 weeks. We had a couple days in there that were pretty bad, but we were starting to average up around 50 degrees. Warm nights were above freezing. And then, as you guys know, and a lot of you comment, weather definitely affects kidding. So when you have a huge low pressure front come in, whatever that does to the mom's bodies, whether it's a survival instinct, a lot of the wild animals, when it's snowing, storming, raining, coyotes, fox will just den up for the day and not be out hunting. And that's when all the prey animals, and yes, goats are prey animals. That is why their eye is slit from side to side like that. That gives them about 180, almost 180 degree view on both sides of the body. So they can almost see their butt. Hi. Because they're prey animals. Oh my gosh. You go to sleep, baby. So yeah, so what happened was the low pressure came in, dropped the temps clear down into the, I think we were getting up around 32, 34 degrees during the day, but at night we're dropping down around 12, 15, 18 degrees. I don't want exposed skin on a goat. I don't want her to be naked on the back, to be naked on the udder when the temps are that low. The last thing obviously we would want would be for her to get frostbite on her udder. And that's pretty much a death sentence for a goat. We've had one goat. Now, it was a different scenario. She actually had a very rare bacterial infection in her entire body, and it should not have. It was a staph infection. It should have affected her body as a staph infection, just like a normal staph infection. And for whatever reason, it took over her entire mammary system and just affected the mammary. and it ate a hole from the inside of her udder through to the outside of her udder. And the only possible solution was to take her to OSU, Ohio State University, have them remove her entire mammary system, and hope she survived the surgery. And, you know, that wasn't going to be an option. So we ended up having to put her down, our one and only goat, just a very rare strain of staph that affected her mammary system instead of her body. Okay, guys. So Mom's doing good. She's a little messy back here. She'll clean that up. I don't want to talk too loud because he's asleep. This is what I was saying about the death nap. He's curled up in a nice, cute, cuddly little ball. But sometimes they'll just flop over on their side and they'll be so unconscious. You walk in and you think they're dead. You know, it's just terrifying. So I'm going to answer a couple more questions, and I think we'll call this video Mom. Yes, she's doing great. Yes. I keep saying that, guys. I'm just so happy. And again, is he huge? A freaking 6-pound baby when he should be 3 to 3.5 pounds. Yeah, he's massive. Why don't we help? This is why don't we help? This is we get this question every year because people watch other YouTube channels where they just, like I said in the video yesterday, as soon as they see a foot, they grab that baby and they rip it out. That's unnatural. It's just unnatural. Her body is built to do certain things. You know, she needs time. Her body has to, like I was talking yesterday, she starts contracting, she starts dropping. The first thing she's going to do is start losing these tail ligaments, which is why I talk about tail ligaments so much. Like she has like virtually no control of her tail because those ligaments are gone. They're starting to come back a little bit. Everything in here is connected. Okay, so everything has to loosen up. And those tail ligaments are a big part of it because it's up in the area where everything needs to stretch out and move out of the way. So these need to be loosened up. And then she's going to go into contractions, and that's going to take the babies from their position, get them down, start moving them into the birth canal so they can come out. Now, if you've ever had your hand inside of an animal to assist with pulling a baby out, right inside there, you're going to hit the cervix, and it has to dilate. And it has to work its way up to the correct dilation size so the baby can come through. Otherwise, you know, if it was just dilated all the time, everything would just fall out. If I see a foot and I just grab that baby and I rip it out onto the ground, and which just freaks me out every time. If you tear her cervix, if you rupture her uterus, if you damage any of these parts back here that require stitches, I've seen people rip babies out and tear her, we'll say tear her opening, you know, 2.5 inches, just rip down the backside. And you got to call the vet. The vet has to come out here. He has to stitch it up. She's never right again. Her body is designed to go through the process to squeeze the baby out in the most efficient manner possible. There is no cause to just grab a baby and rip it out of there. There's just no cause. You're going to damage something eventually. You might get lucky a few times. I'm not in the business of getting the babies on the ground as fast as I can so you guys can see them. I'm here to let her do her thing, let her body do the work. Yes, she's in pain. Any of you women who have ever been through childbirth, you know how it works. You wouldn't want, you know, the doctor, as soon as he saw the head, to just reach in there and grab a hold of the first thing he sees and just rip the baby out of you. You're just going to do damage. And it's just, I understand the question because so many people do it and you see it across YouTube all the time. I just don't understand the reason if it's not necessary. I think I said it 50 times in the video yesterday. It was very necessary. He got locked in the pelvis just because of the way he was coming out. Because his big old head, oh, look at him. His big old head had slid back into his elbow creases there and locked him up. So why don't we just get the baby out as fast as possible to cause mom less pain? Maybe she'll be in pain for a shorter period of time. Was it dramatic? Yeah, that's one of the most dramatic births I've seen on the farm here. That's not normal. And having not known her prior to this, this is her second freshening, and she is a 3-year-old doe. She'll be 3 on April 2nd. So this is her second time having kids. Somebody had asked, that's another question answered for you guys. So I don't know how she acts. She might act like that, excuse me, every single time. She might give birth like that every single time. And like I told you guys yesterday, we have one goat, and I, for the life of me, can't remember who it is. Never makes a peep, never makes a sound. Just kind of, you know, bears down. You can see her face kind of grimacing a little bit, but never makes a noise. Spits a baby out, spits 2 babies out, and goes on. So having no history with her since we just bought her, we don't know if that's how she always kids, or if she was in a little bit more pain because he was so big, or if she was yelling like that before he was even stuck in her hips. So I don't think she was yelling that dramatically because he was stuck in the hips, because she was doing that from the get-go. As soon as she went into full labor, she started screaming like that. So I think, actually, I know we did the right thing, getting his legs pulled out of there so his head could come through, just creating that space. And I said it before, and I'll say it again, we're never gonna just rip babies out of there. There's too much potential for lifelong damage and or death. And look at that face. You know, you can say, well, you caused this pain because you bred her and now she's in labor pain. You should try to force her through that as quickly as possible so she's not in pain. Well, you know, we'll leave it at that. And look at that face. He's so adorable. So yeah, guys, I think that's pretty much it. If I think of something else, I'll come back and answer. But no, I mean, she did what she does. She did a good job at it. I don't want to say it was a little dramatic. It was a little dramatic. I mean, we've seen lots and lots and lots of goat births on here. Oh, one more thing I want to say. Why didn't you go in there and check to see what the positioning of the baby is? Okay. This is one I like to address as well, because you also see a lot of YouTubers just come out here and stuff their hand in the goat. And I just, everything in there is a clean environment. Everything out here is a dirty environment. Unless I absolutely have to, I am never going to stick my hand in a goat. Now, I stuck as minimal as I had to yesterday, which was 1 finger in there to see what was going on. I had a clean, sterile glove on. I'm also, you have to get in through and you got to work your way in there. You got to loosen everything up. You're pushing. I don't want to rupture anything. I don't want to tear anything. So, clean environment, dirty environment. I like to keep the inside environment as clean as possible, because the baby's going to be getting dropped in the dirt, which is also why we use the puppy pads. We just like to have him come out on a puppy pad, keeps him from landing in the dirt and getting all gross. We can clean him up pretty quickly, get all the slimy stuff. Hi, we're back to this, guys. Are we back to this? Hi, Mom. So yeah, so we don't go in a goat unless we have to. We don't pull babies unless we have to. And we don't pet goats. unless we have to, which is always. Get your face. Got a little tussle going on out there. But I think Chuckles is gonna, hi. Yes, whoever said it, I am gonna probably shorten his name. I was told I was not allowed to shorten his name. I'm not allowed to call him Charlie. You guys remember Charlie bit me and it hurt, and it's still hurting. I'm not allowed to call him Charlie. So, probably Chucky. I mean, Chuck is already short. I'll probably just call him Chuckles because I like it. Y'all were not wrong when you started calling him Chunk Norris. While he's not chunky, he is huge. Hi. So I'm going to stop the chitty chat, guys. Just wanted you guys to see him. I was hoping he would be up and playing, but he is nap time, and we're not going to interrupt that. He needs his sleep as much as he needs his food, and that's pretty much all babies do. You guys will see that pretty quickly as we start having more. They eat, they run around like psychos for maybe 2 to 3 minutes, and then they just crash and take a nap. Wash, rinse, and repeat all day long. They grow out of the crazies a little bit as they get bigger, but yeah, they pretty much eat, sleep, and poop just like any other baby. Takes a lot of energy to grow that body, you know. It's a lot going on, especially when you're a goat and you hit the ground, and as a wild animal, as a prey animal, you got to get those feet under you pretty quick and be able to move, be able to get up, be able to get out of the area. That area is contaminated with the scent of blood and all the other body fluids, and it's important for them to get up as quickly as they can and get out of that area. Because in the wild, goats are, you know, they're natural, I don't know what you want to call it. They roam from place to place to place. In the wild, they basically move south in the winter and move north in the summer, just like geese or whatever. And that's why in the wild you don't have as much worm load contamination. One, their bodies, the weak die and the strong live. And two, you know, they migrate from place to place. They poop behind them, they walk in front of them, and by the time they come back to where they pooped before, there's no worms. So yeah, a lot of energy spent just growing and doing all the things the body needs to do. So we'll have lots of nap times, but I will try to catch him just bobbling around like a silly, doing baby zoomies. And you have stood here the entire 12 minutes. I love you. You're so calm. Yeah, guys, even her, you know, we focus a lot on the baby, but talk a lot about the baby. But we focus a lot on the moms, too. We make sure that she's drinking. We make sure that she's eating. Getting hands on her to make sure she doesn't feel too hot, like she has a fever because maybe possible infection. Maybe there's something inside that happened that we didn't see and she develops an infection. So we keep an eye on that. The other thing is, the only time we deworm on a schedule is prior to kidding and the day she drops the baby. So we came over here yesterday and we dewormed her because when her body is down, she just went through a traumatic experience. All of her energy levels are off. All of her chemical levels are off. So we will come over here and deworm her, because if she had a little bit of a worm load, which she's a little pale, not super pale. Actually, I like that. When the body gets down, that worm load can just explode and take over. So we like to deworm right after kidding. And little Chuckles needs nothing. Nothing. Hi, buddy. That's why we do her treatments with CD&T before he's born, so she can pass all those immunities on to him. So she was super healthy, so we have no reason to do anything to him. Obviously, we'll keep a really good eye on him and her, make sure everybody's healthy, happy. And then we'll be letting her out of here probably tomorrow. It's going to be super warm. I think it's going to be near 50 degrees. we'll do a little slow introduction out into the herd. I will open the gate and see what Mom does. Here she goes. Are you mine? Is he yours? Did he pass the test? You're so silly. But yeah, we'll let him out tomorrow. I wish I caught that yawn up close. Chunky boy. We'll let him out tomorrow. I'll probably put Frosty out there now. I've been popping Frosty in here because just with our current scenario, I need Frosty to be in here so I can feed the goats before I milk her. And I know Frosty Mom is a sweet little angel, and Genji likes her. She walked right up and booped him on the nose with her little nose, and then she just walked away, and Ginger didn't have a problem with it, so we were good there. So we'll probably open the gate tomorrow with Frosty Mom and Licorice, and then let some nice slow introductions happen like that, and then we'll introduce the crazies. A lot of times mom goats don't like other babies. Streusel is a meanie, even though she's the queen. I've seen her grab babies by the tail and throw them, grab them by the ear and throw them, so she's not up to that right now. She is doing great, but I think we'll do a slow introduction, and then we'll put them back in, let everybody else out, let them get calmed down, and then we'll open the gate and just keep a really good eye on everything that's going on. Helicopter Mom she's going to keep him safe and close, so not worried about that. But I just continue to ramble, so I will end this. I love answering your questions, so thanks for asking them, and we will see you tomorrow.